My best friend is marrying my ex and they don't want me at their wedding.
Sounds pretty complicated.
So let's jump right in. I'm female in my late 20s and the other main characters are also in their late 20s/early 30s. We all grew up together, had this huge, goofy, nerdy group of friends that were inseparable. We did everything together. Played games, went to movies, planned events for our favorite shows, and generally did anything and everything we wanted together. By the way, this comes from Irrelevanty Daft on the OK Storytime subreddit. So one of these people, we'll call him John, and I had started crushing on each other at the tail end of high school. He was a sweet and funny guy, but I was unsure of starting a relationship at that time. So rebuffed him once or twice. Gently, of course, but eventually he and our friend group wore me down. Everyone, including my own family, was convinced we were a perfect couple. So we dated. We both graduated high school around this time, and quickly after graduation, he got very serious about our relationship.
Oh.
Unfortunately for him, I didn't feel the same, and the intensity and speed with which he moved in our relationship was upsetting to me. We weren't on the same page, and I was young, dumb, and uneasy, and didn't know how to address it. John invited me to his whole extended family's events, holidays, and even weddings and funerals, all which I managed to dodge not so gracefully. And then he started wanting to get physical. Obviously, this is pretty normal in most relationships, but I'm not what you'd consider normal. I didn't really want to express PDA around our friends or families, and engaging in spicy acts together wasn't on my bingo card at the moment. Additionally, his and my own family also got serious and acted as if we were soon to be engaged or married, and I freaked. I panicked. We'd only been together for 6 to 8 months. We were both right out of high school. He knew what he wanted out of life, and I didn't. I was completely unsure.
They're getting the dowries.
I know he's like, wait!
Business engagements, kingdoms aligning.
I didn't know that I wanted to marry him, so when a family member passed away and John was continuing to be pushy and not respecting boundaries while I was mourning, I told him I was going through too much and needed space. Obviously, I could have and probably should have handled this better, but I didn't. I was a teen. John was confused and upset, but stepped back and tried to be respectful. But as time went on, several months had passed and I didn't restart the relationship, and we were both still single. He got frustrated and bitter and began to make our friendship and friend group hangouts uncomfortable for me. I started to actively avoid John, and it seemed he was also avoiding me. Around this time, I reconnected with another old friend and her friends, and happened to meet, through her, my current boyfriend. This is another story for another time, but needless to say, I was smitten and lost any and all feelings I'd once had for my ex. And when eventually confronted by a different friend, we'll call him Tim, from the friend group John and I belong to, I admitted I had no intentions of starting my relationship with John again. Tim was angry with me and informed me that John had been waiting for me to come back to him.
Oh boy.
Why? And was apparently heartbroken over a breakup, and he wanted me back. It's been months. It's been more than months now.
It has. But this is the first one. It's first serious relationship.
Yeah. So Tim convinced me to go and speak to my ex, John, and let him know that I'd moved on and I didn't want to be together again. So John would have some closure. So being the impressionable and sensitive girl I was, I did this. I invited John out to lunch and told him as kindly as I could that I cared about him, but not in the way he wanted, and that I had met someone else recently that I wanted to pursue a relationship with. He seemed to take it well, and we parted ways on what I assumed were friendly terms. But apparently, I was mistaken.
Oh no, he went into revenge mode.
It's just going like, I have to date her best friend.
Mewing everywhere.
Now, before I continue, we've got to rewind again. Bear with me, please. I had a best friend through all of this. She was, for all intents and purposes, my soulmate bestie. We'll call her Anna. Anna and I understood each other in a way few did. At least this is what I believe. And we belonged to the same friend group that John did. We were fast friends and nearly inseparable. We did everything together, and I loved Anna like she was my very own sister. To this day, I still treasure fond memories of us growing up and experiencing life together, and I do often wish we hadn't grown apart or had the problem that we did. It was really stupid. Now, Anna was and is, of course, gorgeous. She had the most beautiful voice and was incredibly smart and talented. Everyone who met her could admit she was, and probably still is, a lovely person. So about 3 or 4 years later, it came as no massive surprise when she reached out to me and asked if I minded if she dated my ex, John, who had asked her out at a small get-together reunion that I hadn't been able to go to.
Yeah, but it sounds like this is typical small town behavior.
And also, they had the same friend group.
Same friend group.
So,
that's how things develop because there's not a lot. If that happened here,
well, it actually would kind of make sense in art. We have like a very
yeah, I could see
widespread friend group.
Yeah, but your best friend dating, because this is her best friend.
That would be weird if my best friend started dating my ex.
It's like if Mr. Steve said, hey.
I feel like we talked about the things that didn't work out here. I don't. Like when you tell people like, oh, wasn't working out.
Yeah, they're in the
like,
loop.
Yeah, they know all the things. Like, why do you want to go date them?
I think John's fault was he liked OP a lot and OP did not feel the same. And that's why he was starting to get resentful. She was not reciprocating his love.
I myself had been dating my now boyfriend for a couple of years at this point, and we were blissfully happy. And I had moved some hours away, and everyone in our friend group was much too busy to spend a lot of time together, so I hadn't seen my ex or my best friend for a good while. But I had no hard feelings towards John, seeing as I thought we'd parted amicably. So when Anna asked if I minded that she dated John, I told her happily that I don't mind at all, and I hope they had a great relationship. I was too stoked to see my bestie find someone she really seemed to love, and I thought John would be a great boyfriend for her, because at the time I still respected and cared about John as an old friend. So Anna and John started dating, and for a while, she and I stayed in touch as often as possible. She was renting a room from one of my close family members, so when I would visit my family, I'd get to see her, and all in all, we were really like family. She was dear to me, and my family loved her and were just as happy as I was to see her in love with John. However, 6 or 7 months into the relationship, things got weird.
Uh-oh.
They'd gotten engaged, and she didn't tell me right away.
Oh my gosh.
That's your best friend?
Do you know anyone that's gotten engaged that quickly?
No.
I know a couple that got engaged 7 weeks into dating.
You don't know anything about that person.
Yeah, you really don't.
I heard it from my family, and then when I asked her about it, she told me and admitted she forgot to let me know. I don't buy it. If that's your best friend, I don't buy that.
Oh, heck no.
Again, I tell my best friends things immediately.
Whenever I get engaged, well, I guess I'll tell you guys.
When I started dating my ex, like I came down and I was like, I got a freaking boyfriend.
Yeah, I was there. I witnessed that happening.
Mm-hmm. And then also when I got broken up, I
Witnessed
told
that
him
happen.
immediately.
It was funny because I was there like moments before you got together and moments after you guys. Don't you worry, girl. I got you.
Yeah.
I'm facilitating out here.
Yeah. It's working hard. We'll see. We'll check. Video comes out.
Yeah. I'm working on being a matchmaker.
Everyone in the Discord go message me and be like, hey,
how's your relationship going?
Yeah, what happened?
Sophia's my guinea pig.
It's true. I forgave this and figured it was just because we both had so much going on. I was working a lot in a city a couple hours from her, and she was going to school and working, and now planning a wedding. However, after that conversation, Anna started being distant, too busy to call or text or talk on social media. And yet again, I stupidly didn't see the red flags and assumed it was because of everything going on in our life. As things progressed, I learned that my family member, a cousin, we'll call her Shelly, was planning Anna and John's wedding. And she was so very excited to put her event planning skills to work for one of her favorite friends. So while Shelly kept me updated about John and Anna's upcoming wedding, I started to plan on going to my best friend's wedding.
Okay.
I hadn't expected to be made a bridesmaid, but had hoped, but hadn't received anything from Anna. So then made the assumption I was just a guest, which was fine too. But as time went by, I didn't receive an invite or much connection with Anna. I grew more and more anxious. Eventually, I stopped hearing anything from Anna altogether, and yet again, I clung to the hope that it was because she was busy. But sadly, when I spoke to Shelly about it, everything fell apart and I was devastated.
Oh, no.
Anna and John didn't want me at their wedding, and instead of speaking to me themselves and letting me know I wasn't invited for whatever reason, they told Shelly to tell me. How cowardly.
Yeah.
Like, how cowardly.
Well, John is pretty hurt. You know about the first love theory?
Yeah.
I think that is on him.
Yeah. He's like, you can't have her in the wedding. Like, she can't be at the wedding at all, or I'll say her name.
Yep. He wants her so much, but he only could settle for the friend.
He can't get over her.
He's like Lori when he settled for Amy. This is what he feels like.
Dang. And instead of speaking to me themselves and letting me know I wasn't invited for whatever reason, they told Shelly to tell me. Now, a little bit about Shelly. She'd recently lost a family member and was in a very sensitive, emotional state. And with this added weight of having to tell me something so uncomfortable, it made her really upset. She felt trapped in the middle of everything and didn't know what to do. And eventually she let me know in tears how she felt. And of course, I was pretty mad. Not only had my best friend not invited me to her wedding with my ex, she'd not bothered to tell me herself and involved my cousin, who was already having a very difficult time. Now, this next part is a real doozy. Apparently, my cousin expressed how she felt to Anna, and of course, instead of reaching out to me herself, she had my ex, John, text me.
Oh, what? Here it is. John is puppeteering the friend.
Yeah.
He's puppeteering Anna, and in a way, this is him getting revenge on OP.
He's
That's
like,
what I'm
I've
thinking.
stolen your friend. Icky. This was so out of the blue, I was shook. Apparently, we needed to discuss our previous relationship, and from what it sounded like to me, he wasn't over me.
Oh, no.
And yet he was marrying my best friend, and she knew about it. That's why you're not invited to the wedding. I, with the help of my amazing boyfriend at the time, was able to respond politely but firmly that no, I would not discuss our high school relationship with him, but that there was no hard feelings between us, and I would, at that point, politely decline a wedding invitation if they sent me one. John seemed annoyed and taken aback, but what the heck? I wasn't going to discuss an old high school relationship with him while he was preparing to marry my best friend. I thanked him and sent my best friend a well wishes text and blocked them both everywhere. And honestly, I wish I could say there was some funny, snarky ending, but no. They got married, all our friends and even my family was there, but I wasn't. I was hurt and upset and did cry a lot and realized that my friendship with my bestie was over. We did, on occasion, speak at events we both happened to be at, and she tried to talk to me about it and even eventually apologized. And while I did forgive her, I decided our relationship would never recover, and to this day, I don't understand why they did everything the way they did. But what I do understand is that you can join us live
But where?
on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch.
How do I do that?
Just tap our profile
Okay. Oh, when?
at 3 p.m. PST
Wow. Every day?
every weekday. And there is a little bit left.
Someone is hurt and has not processed their emotions.
He's not over his first girlfriend, and that's
Yeah.
embarrassing
Yep.
because you're about to marry another girl. That's icky.
This is so icky. I don't really like how he's approaching this.
No, you approach it in the worst way possible.
Absolutely.
Go to therapy, dude. Go to therapy.
Yep. Agreed.
I'm pretty over it now because if either of them truly cared about me as a friend, they would have handled it much differently. So I don't see the point in feeling butthurt about it anymore. Too much unnecessary stress. Gotta live my best life now and enjoy the people in my life that don't cause myself and my family discomfort. As Charlotte says, living well is the best revenge. I wish them well, but dang it, if it wasn't one of those stupid drama llama wedding situations I'd be in. I hope everyone enjoyed this. I'll be checking in on the comments if anyone has any clarifying questions, comments, or snide remarks to make. And that is the end of that story.